We up early this morning, y'all. We gotta talk about this, okay? Nothing prepared me for the end of this episode. Nothing prepared me for the end of this episode. Welcome to my channel. We're here. We break down reality TV shows with laughter and reenactments, all while giving it to you straight with no chaser. Because we don't just watch TV around here, we get into the things of the things. So sit back and relax. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. Married at First Sight, season 19, episode 12, baby. Whoo! I mean, I'ma say it now, I don't blame Will. I'ma say it now, I don't blame Will. Oh, but Chloe, he never liked her. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. We got some things to get into. But before we do, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through. And if you like what you see and like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you're one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all. How y'all doing, y'all? We got to get into it. Let's get into this episode. So, the episode opens up with Megan and Derek. They're about to tell Megan's parents that she is pregnant and they're about to have a baby. Megan and Derek having a baby is still crazy to me. It's still crazy to me. Like, I'm still trying to wrap my brain around, how did we get here? I mean, I know how we got here, but how did we get here? So anyway, Mac's parents come and they sit down at the table and they're like, remember we told you we were going to get a dog or a puppy or whatever the case may be? And they're like, oh my God, did you get a dog? Well, Alicia didn't get a baby. Joke's on you, because guess what? They got a baby. They pull out the little pregnancy test. She's like, this is a joke. Mac's mother is like, this is a joke. You guys are playing. And they're like, no, it's not a joke, for real. We're having a baby. And I'm like, this is crazy. Now, her parents said that they're excited. They said they're excited, but I don't see the excitement. I see the concern. I see the worry. I see, are you crazy? But nonetheless, they said that they're excited and that they are going to have a lot to go through really, really fast. And I totally agree, okay? Because they're trying to still learn each other. And then once they learn each other, they are raising a child. Baby, they are in for the ride of their lives. And Derek, I'm going to need you to lay off her uterus for a while, okay? I'll start talking about 2, 3, right now. Okay, we got to get through one. Let's get through this pregnancy and see how everything else goes. And the way that Megan's attitude is already set up, baby, the hormones, I hope you ready for them. That's all I got for you. Good luck. My God, Rhonda, just let Pat eat. For real. Somebody mentioned in my comments that Pat and Rhonda don't need to eat because every time they eat, they get into an argument. And I totally agree. But it's all Rhonda. Like, she do too much for me. But nonetheless, these two are sitting down talking, right? And Rhonda wants to know why Pat feels like he can't be himself around her. Because you're exhausting. Every time that man tries to show a glimpse of himself, you got to turn around and make it about you. Oh, you always cutting me off. You always making everything about you. No, Rhonda, you're making everything about you. Even in this conversation, Pat is telling her, when I was growing up, I always had to make people happy. I was always walking on eggshells and this, that, and the other. She cuts him off in the middle of this conversation to ask him, do you feel like you're being yourself right now? And he was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, I can see that. If you let him finish telling his story, maybe we could get down to the root of this, Rhonda. But you won't even do that. Now she wants to, I have a question for you. Is it possible for you to, process what's going on between me and you and our relationship, all while being your authentic self? He's been trying, but you won't let him. He's literally been trying, but you won't let him. Pat said that he's working on it. You know what? At this point, Pat, don't work on it. Leave her alone. She's aggravating. She's annoying. She's self-centered. And I just can't take it. And I feel bad for Pat because you could just see the defeat all over that man. He did not come into this thinking that he was going to get a Rhonda. I'm pretty sure he didn't. Because even in that conversation, while he's trying to tell her about himself, she wanted to know, can you process what we have going on? Leave me alone today, Rhonda. Leave me alone. It's getting old at this point. So now we get over to Chad and Belinda, right? Poor Chad is like shaking. I said, what's going on, Chad? Why are you shaking so hard? He's trying to hold the pizza in the drink. He had to stop himself from shaking. I feel bad because he's really going through a lot right now. A lot. Now, Belinda said that it's been a couple of days since her and Chad talked, so this should be very interesting. They called Dr. Pia on the phone, right? And he's telling Dr. Pia how this isn't normal. He's not comfortable. Like, he just feels completely out of his element. And Dr. Pia said, try not to personalize the schedule. Like, you signed up for a show. We got to do a show, baby. Don't personalize it. We got to get this done so y'all can go ahead about y'all married life. Ain't that what you want? That's what you want. So Belinda decided that she wants to bring up the conversation that he said that, he feels like production is drawing a wedge between Josh and Jaylen based on what Josh said. But she knows that's a lie because she spoke to Jaylen. How do you know that's a lie? Just because you spoke to Jaylen doesn't mean anything. Let's be for real. All we know is that Jaylen showed you some text messages between Josh and Chad. Does that mean that Josh and Chad didn't have another conversation? Does that mean that he didn't vent to him about anything? Like, be for real, Belinda. You don't know what's true. And we know that Josh lied. So even if Josh said that, he never said anything, do we really believe him, Mr. I blocked my ex when I really didn't block my ex and I told a lie that I didn't even have to tell? Oh, okay. So Chad was like, I'm not going to argue with Belinda. She already made up her mind that I lied. He turns to her and he tells her, I'm sorry if you feel like I lied. And I'm like, what do you mean you sorry if she feels like you lied? Did you lie or not? Because if you did it, ain't no need to be sorry. So Dr. Pia cut in and was like, listen, maybe there's a difference in perception. Maybe y'all just have different perception on what happened and what was said. This could be true, right? Because from Belinda's point of view, her perspective is that, she spoke to Jaylen about it and Jaylen showed her some text messages and that's all she got. But then you got to think about Chad's perception. He spoke to Josh and he listened to Josh vent probably about that damn Burning Man. Because, he oh God, life won't go on if he can't go to Burning Man, and that's how Chad probably perceived it. So this could be very much true. But although Belinda said that she could agree that maybe it's a difference in perceptions, you can tell it's very much obvious that she still does not believe that man, okay? She says she's frustrated because she don't want to be lied to. Are you really being lied to? We don't know. So at this point, you got to take it for what it is. It's really not even that serious for real, okay? So Dr. Pia was like, okay, going forward, can we just agree to both be honest and as direct as possible? I just feel like we missing something when it comes to these two. We got to be missing something when it comes to these two. And I don't know what it is exactly, okay? But they both agree that they can do that. So Dr. Pia asked Belinda, in your marriage with Chad, is it worth taking the risk to choose to believe him? Now, she said that's what she's trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out, because I'm always putting him first. I'm always putting him first and putting my feelings to the side to make him feel comfortable. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Chad's sitting there, he's getting teary-eyed, right? Because he's realizing at this point that he may have lost his wife. And I honestly do believe that Chad loves Belinda and he really wants this to work, but it's a lot going on in his head and his space, and he's really having a hard time adjusting, right? Now, Belinda wants to bring up the fact that there's no intimacy with her husband because when it's wind down time, he likes to go sit on the couch and have some drinks so that he could fall asleep, and that leaves her in the bed all alone on her phone. So Chad was like, well, there is a large puppy in the bed between us. So I don't know how we really would be hugged up or whatever. He said that he's trying to protect her feelings as well because he just doesn't want to come in the room get your dog up out of here. He knows how much she loves that dog and he doesn't want to, make her upset about it. And I believe that. Now, I don't know if maybe I'm remembering this wrong, but I do remember Chad mentioning something about not really liking to sleep with the dogs. I could be wrong though, but Belinda feels like, why not just say I would like to lay down with you? And I'm just like, because the dog is in the bed. Maybe you should say, come lay with me. I don't know. But at this point, we know that Belinda intimacy is very, very, very important to her, okay? And instead of just having that conversation with him, she waits until, he's in his feelings about something to now make this about her concerns. Girl, we still trying to figure out what's going on with him in this production, filming, and the scheduling things of the things. And you wait until he's in his feelings to now bring up your concerns. You've been had these concerns, it sounds like. Dr. Pia tells them that marriage is hard, okay? And it takes a lot of work. You guys are going to continue to have these conversations over and over and over until you really figure it out. And that's true. Being married for almost 8 years and being with my husband for almost 14 years, you're going to have a couple of conversations over and over and over again until something just clicks, okay? And I feel like this ain't even hard to figure out. Get the dog out the bed. That is it. That is all. But Belinda is still struggling, right? So Dr. Pia tells her, write down all the questions that you have, everything that you want to ask, and this, that, and the other, and we'll talk about it the next time we catch up. Belinda decided that she's going to go home for the night, and Chad, I guess, going to stay in the apartment. Here's my thing. I just don't like the fact that Belinda's not being supportive to her husband. Instead of, leaning into him, being vulnerable with him, trying to figure out how they can navigate all this together, she decided to take this moment and make it about how there's no intimacy in the marriage, which has been her problem from the very beginning. And instead of just saying that, she wants to make this whole, he said that you guys are drawing a wedge between Jaylen and Josh bigger than what it is, because it's not even that serious for real. So Will and Britney are going on this nice romantic boat ride, right? They got the charcuterie board or the charcuterie board, whichever one you prefer, okay? And they're discussing when the shift happened in their marriage, right? We are in a good space right now. Everything's going great. I love you. You love me. We're just, we're vibing out on this boat, right? And so she said that for her, that, the shift happened when she talked to Dr. P and Pastor Cal, and they helped her realize that she is guarded. And ever since she made the decision to express how she feels in the moment, they've been good. Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? Because here's the thing, you guys are in a cycle, okay? You keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. But if you feel like y'all been good, I'm not going to hold you, because some of them scenes, I'll be eating them up. I told y'all that sometimes I'm in love with Britney and Will, and then sometimes I'm just like, go ahead and call it quits. Just do it. Right? Everything seems to be on a good track. We seem to be, vibing really well. Until she asked him, does he feel like there's an emotional connection? Now, Will said this got to be a trick question because the last time you asked me this question, I got chewed out at the table. And she's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. You didn't forget about that. You really remember that, okay? Now, I can just say this. It's obvious that Britney doesn't feel connected to Will. But instead of Britney saying she doesn't feel connected, she wants to push this on him. Because the only reason why she will keep asking this man that is because she doesn't feel the connection. That's usually how it works. When you're not feeling secure in something, or you're wondering how someone else's feel, it's because they're making you feel some type of way, meaning you don't feel an emotional connection to him. And instead of being honest about that, you want to keep asking him, does he feel an emotional connection to you? So he told her, he said he feels a strong connection and he's looking forward to it growing, right? Right. Strong connection, looking forward to it growing. We're getting somewhere. We're moving in the right direction, right? So then she asked him, how does this strong connection correlates to love? Like, when you say you love me, what does that mean? Now, he said that he wants to make her happy and he's committed to her in this marriage. It's an action and a feeling. It's an action and a feeling, right? She's like, so the feeling's there because all she heard was action. So the feeling is there because all I heard was action more than feeling. This is what I mean by internalizing every single thing. Something so simple. Just take it for what it is. Why do we have to dive deep into everything? Overthink everything. She tells him for her, it's a feeling. It's a feeling that she has when she's around him. It's joyful. She wants to be around him all the time. She loves talking to him, being in his presence. She loves him because she actually has feelings for him. And it's not because she's obligated to him because she's married. Then she turns around and tells him that she feels like he loves her because he's obligated to. My God, today. My God, today. Do you know that when you are married, you wake up every day and you choose that person? Do you know that in relationships and in marriage, you go through phases of feeling in love, feeling out of love, and as an obligation because you chose this person to marry and be with for the rest of your life, you have to stick it through? The man said he wants to make you happy. The man said that he's committed to you. And the only thing that you picked up from all of this is that it's an obligation for you. And this was the turning point for Will. I promise y'all, this was the turning point for him. He told her, you're always trying to discredit me because I'm not saying what you want to hear. And she does this every single time. Every single time. For anyone who doesn't realize how aggravating that is, I don't understand. I told y'all Britney is projecting. She tells him, oh, I'm sorry. I was just trying to point out the differences. What's the point? Brittany, if you don't want to be with Will, if you feel like Will is not your person, if Will isn't giving you what you need, it is okay for you to make that decision. You don't have to force him to say what you want him to say. If your feelings are that strong about this connection that you obviously not getting from him, it's okay for you to choose you. You don't need him to make that decision for you. Because honestly, no matter what he says, you're not going to accept it. You're going to try to dissect it. You're going to try to discredit it. So it really doesn't even matter. Now she's sitting there crying. She's crying. I ruined the romantic day. You did. You really did. He pulls her in. It's okay. It's okay. The cycle. Remember I told y'all the cycle? She asks him a question. She gives him an answer. She internalizes the answer. Then she gets an attitude. She starts crying. He pulls her in, apologizes, and now everything's better. This is what they've been doing the whole entire season. Child, Megan and Derek is over there really starting a whole family. They going car shopping because, she's about to be a mother or whatever. I love that for them. I didn't expect for Derek and Megan to be like, going this good and this strong. But hey, we here now. We here. So we get back to Chad and Belinda, right? Belinda goes to Chad's house because she wants to talk, right? Chad tells her, listen, I understand how you feel about my behavior and how it's been inappropriate, and I totally agree. So he apologized, right? So now after this apology, they start talking about the dog. Okay, so how do you feel about the dog? He says he don't like the dog in the bed. Plus, the dog always barks. She said, why didn't you say something? He said, I did tell you that maybe we have to get the dog trained because he's always barking. And now the conversation is about when the dog is barking. Oh, he's saying the dog barks all day. The dog can't bark all day because if the dog's barking all day and you're not here, how do you know he's barking all day? Chad said, because when I'm walking up to the door, well, when you're walking up to the door, then don't you think the dog's going to bark? Because that's what dogs do. No, when I'm outside, I can hear the dog barking. The dog barks all day. Why do we have to get into the semantics of it all? Belinda, your dog's barking. Of course he's not barking when you're around because you're his owner. Maybe he doesn't feel as comfortable with Chad. Maybe he don't like to be left in the house alone. We don't know. But I feel like going back and forth about the dog barking is not that big of a deal when he already said that we might just have to get the dog trained. That's it. That's all. But Chad did get a little snappy with her because he's getting frustrated because she wants to argue about the little things instead of trying to resolve the big picture. Take some accountability, Belinda. Everything is not Chad's fault. You both play a part in this marriage. You both have to own up to what part you play in it. Child, Belinda left because the conversation didn't go anywhere. I feel like at this point, how many days away from decision day? Just call it off. Just call it off. I'm over it, y'all. I'm over it. We found out that Rhonda lost her stepfather. Sorry to hear that. Condolences to you and your family. But Pat is there with her. Poor Pat, He's just been dealing with Rhonda and all her emotions all season long. And I'm sure she's taking this really hard. I'm sure she is, okay? So now we get over to Josh and Jaylen, and I'm tired of talking about these festivals. Like, Josh, just go to the festival alone. She tells him, you can go to the festival for 1 year by yourself. I don't even think I want to go anymore. After being with you, I just realized I wouldn't want to go without you. Blah, 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 blah. You sat there, you almost cried because you couldn't go to Burning Man. Boy, bye. She feels like he's just saying what she wants to hear because decision day's close. And I guess she feels like he wants her to say yes. Listen, I don't care. I honestly do not care. If y'all feel like y'all need to do everything together to be together, that is on y'all. If y'all going to let that man want to go to some festivals, ruin your marriage, then that is on y'all because this is stupid. This is stupid. When he literally can go to the festivals for a week by himself, come home, and then y'all have the rest of y'all lives together. Go build your own community. That's what y'all want to do so bad. I don't know. I can't do it with them no more. I'm glad that this is over because if we talk about these festivals with them one more time, I might lose my ish. For real, okay? So Chad and Belinda are finally sitting down with Dr. Pia so we can really get down to the bottom of this, right? So she feels like when they tried to have the conversation that he wants to control the conversation. He says that he doesn't want to control her. I do feel like Chad does have a little control problem. I already told y'all that, okay? I'm not about to sit here and act like he doesn't, because he does. But I also understand where he was coming from in that argument, because you wanted to argue about the semantics of it all, and there was no need for that. There really wasn't. Dr. Pierre came to the realization that Chad hasn't been able to cope with his stress because his schedule has changed so much, and they keep changing the schedule. It sounds like he hasn't been able to go do the things that help him decompress and stay sane. Stay sane. And on top of doing all of that, he's in this process and he hasn't had any way to really cope. We understand that, right? Dr. Pierre said to him, "Tell me how I can help." That is what Belinda should have said the first time. Tell me how I can help as a wife. Tell me how I can help. But did she do that? No. She brought up how he don't want to lay in the bed with her. Like, be for real. Nonetheless, Dr. Pierre said, tell Belinda how she can help. He's sitting there and he said, I just want someone to understand me. That is it. That is all. Someone to understand him. So Belinda's like, I'm trying to understand. No, you're not. You're not. Instead of trying to understand, you told that man, don't put me in it. I'm fine with whatever you feel like you got going on. Just don't put me in it. That's not trying to understand where he's coming from. She said that she's been walking on eggshells because she fears that when he gets upset, it makes her uncomfortable and she's tired. I can understand that. If you are used to being around people who have outbursts and are angry, I can understand why this would be triggering for her. Maybe she feels like this is the beginning to something that could be worse. Maybe it's bigger than just production. Maybe she's looking at this as like, this is just a little bit to what could come in the future when we're not filming. So I can understand her concerns. I totally can, okay? Dr. Pia asked her, where did that come from? She said that her ex was always arguing and shouting, and she created this whole life of peace. And she doesn't want to lose that by getting in this relationship when she sees this kind of like low-key pattern. But here's my thing. From my understanding, Chad has not been nasty, mean, yelling, or shouting at you. From my understanding, it seems like his issue is with production, not you. He's been saying it over and over again. It's not you. I'm happy with you. I love you. It's the production. It's the filming. It's all the things of the things, right? And she internalized that, and she took that as if he has a whole problem with everything, including her. And I think that's why she's struggling with understanding him, because she's not looking at it with compassion. She's looking at it out of fear. Dr. Pia said you do understand that this is a reaction to trauma. And because of that, you are hyper alert. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. So my question is, after realizing that this is all a trauma response on both of their ends, where do we go? To decision day? Okay. Megan and Derek over there getting a house together. He about to move in. They hanging up stuff. They cleaning out stuff. They really about to be a family. They got a new mom car. It's all the things over there, okay? It's all the things. But they did want to talk about decision day because they need to be true to the process. It is okay if you decide that you don't want to stay married on decision day. We can have a baby and raise a baby and not stay married. And I'm like, at this point, I don't see why y'all wouldn't. Y'all seem to be doing everything fine. He's already planning on moving in. You got a new car. Y'all haven't really been butting heads like that. He wants to be there to support you. See it through. See it through until you can't see it through anymore. I would stick it out. I honestly would stick it out. Give it a chance. At this point, you're going to be in each other's lives regardless. So give it a chance. But I understand being true to the process, because at the end of the day, this is still a process. But it's the fact that Megan said it. Megan probably like, listen, this man want more kids. I don't think I'm gonna be able to give it to him. So maybe we could just have this one and he could go about his merry business and he could go have some more babies with somebody else. Maybe that's what she thinking, because she know that man's gonna try to get her to have some more. And we know that she don't want to have no more. So everybody's getting ready to separate because decision day is tomorrow. Looking at Pat and Rhonda say goodbye. I just hope that he says no. That's all I got for you when it comes to Pat and Rhonda. Pat, just say no, okay? I smiled literally the whole entire time that I looked at Will and Britney saying goodbyes. When I tell you, I was on cloud nine. I had so much hope for them. Everything was going so well in my mind, okay? But what I did not expect was for this episode to end with us going into decision day, okay? Britney's getting ready to go to the place so that she can make her decision on whether or not she wants to stay married to Will or not. And he calls her. She goes into the room and she gets this phone call. And he's telling her that he is going to say no. Okay, and I told y'all that his turning point was when she discredited his feelings again, because he is tired of always having to prove how he feels over and over and over and over again. The turning point for him was on that boat. That was the turning point. Now, I know y'all saying, Chloe, he never liked her. He never liked her. Well, she didn't make it easy for him to start liking her, if that's how y'all feel. I honestly think that he liked her. His mother said, Will is not expressive. He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeves. He's very reserved. He doesn't like big gestures. Will's mother explained that man down to the T. And if she can't understand that that is just him, that is just him. Either you accept it or you don't. And because she could not accept it, she kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And it's only but so much someone can take when you keep pushing them. That was his breaking point. I respected enough that he called her and gave her a heads up because he cares about her feelings and he know that she was going to take this hard. So he gave her a heads up so that she didn't feel blindsided walking into this. I respect it. Because he could have waited till they sat down on that couch and just told her, no. He could have did that. Production's like, what happened? She's like, I don't want to talk about it right now. I'm just sitting here like, oh, I feel bad for Britney. I really, really do. My heart goes out for her because I know that she cares about Will and she loves that man, right? But my thing is she's not getting what she needs from him. And no matter how much you love someone, if you're not getting what you need from them, there is no need to settle when you don't have to. She was going to settle knowing that she was unsure about how he feels about her. So ultimately, he made the best decision for the both of them. Y'all, I can't wait to see what these next episodes bring. Decision day is finally here, and then we are going to hit that reunion up and really get into the things, okay? I really hope you guys enjoyed this review. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think about everything that happened this episode. Will saying that he's going to say no and all the things, other things, okay? Don't forget to like the video, hype the video up, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. We are going live maybe Monday or Tuesday. I'm not sure yet, so make sure your notifications on so that we can have some conversations about Married at First Sight. With all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.